Morning, here we are again. I'm out in this place where we heard that weird noise, and yeah, I'm right on the edge of the highway, as you can hear. Just up in there, probably 100 metres, is where we heard the barking and whistles. I'm out here today to get some footage, and there is some whistling going on down in there. I think it's just a lyrebird, but there's a lot of whistles, like as a person would do it. There's a currawong up there calling what I describe as erratic calls, and there was also whistles. We probably recorded it, so. And there's whistling coming from that way too. Now there is a currawong down in that direction. We're zoomed in a long, long way. There's a currawong down in that direction. Staying in that direction. Getting quite upset about something. So I would say that's probably 100 metres away from where I'm standing. And let's leave the camera running just in case. Good morning, here we are again. We have a new trap, camera trap. We are way out in the middle of nowhere. That just through there is the wilderness, and it is wild out here. I haven't actually had any gear in here before. So this is the place, one of the places that I wanted to go. There is another place further to the south, but it's just too far, and I've got that old car and it's just not reliable. If I get caught out here, I'm in big trouble. Anyway, there's our gear. We'll have a bit of a talk about it afterwards. And we've got a trail camera there too, and we'll talk about that too. So there it is. Let's see what happens. The entire point of this camera trap is to deceive and mislead. The microphones are visible but disguised with the black dots, and if anything does figure out that the microphones are disguised, then that's enough to distract the observer away from the cameras, which are hidden behind the fly screen. The visible trail camera is a prop and deliberately misleading. It suggests that I'm looking for something in that direction, but I'm really encouraging something to come in behind the camera, which actually happened, but at night time, so there was no footage. The plot watchers caught something on the third day to the northwest, but it's vague. I did go back to see where it was, but can't tell exactly what it was or where it was. There's one odd thing about the audio we collected, and although most of the audio is similar to what we've heard before, there were no footsteps recorded at any time, which is odd. On the first day at 2:18 p.m, there was a forceful bang coming from the northeast at around 45 metres. Sounds like a protest, but who knows? Almost 4 hours later at 6:03 p.m, at dusk, there was a knock coming from the northwest at around 50 metres. It could be a protest or could be just the trees. On the second morning at 4:17 a.m, there was a very heavy thud or bang from the northwest at around 18 metres. Later in the day at 10:50 a.m, something was snapped off and thrown from the southwest. Now the fact that something has been snapped off and thrown shows intent, an intention to carry out an action in the future, pre-planned and thought out. There were no footsteps recorded at any time, and no vehicles were in the vicinity. On the second day at dusk, the currawong started getting upset to the northeast, and over an 8-minute period slowly headed towards my gear.
After dark at 7:26 p.m. for a period of 37 minutes, something intermittently throws rocks at my gear. Half an hour later, there were a bunch of low vocalisations and what I describe as low guttural noises. Then something approaches from the southwest to within 20 metres. No footsteps, possibly quadrupedal, and whatever it is, foot thumps and bolts to the northeast at around 24 metres. So here's the interesting part. If the subject throwing the rocks is also the same subject who approaches and foot thumps, then what is it? Humans throw rocks but don't foot thump. Animals foot thump but don't throw rocks. I've seen this a fair bit, and a lot of the time I see two things: evidence of animals, but also evidence of humans at the same time. On the fourth morning at 1:04 a.m, something jumps onto a tree, or from one tree to another, or one branch to another. The interesting part of this one is the impact it makes when it hits the tree. Whatever it is quite heavy, and if you look closely at the audio, you can see 4 impacts. You can even hear the separate impacts in the audio. Now, I might be jumping to conclusions, but is this 2 hands and 2 feet impacting the tree? On the fourth night, over a period of 11 hours, there was intermittent banging and barking, but as usual, at dusk, the currawongs come in again, but this time come straight up to the camera trap. My cousin maintains that wallabies make this barking noise, but I'd previously sent a similar audio file to a wallaby expert who said that the audio was not a wallaby. This is the actual audio that I sent to the expert. I think it was from video number 48. On the 5th day at 11:42 a.m, there was a loud bang coming from the northwest, and 35 seconds later a tree falls over. This is loud. Here's a map showing all the activity, the arrows indicating moving subjects. If you look to the northwest of the camera trap, you'll see 2 bangs and a knock. I wouldn't mind betting that those knocks and bangs are actually the tree slowly snapping before it falls. I did go back and I did find rocks that appear to have been thrown, but we had 6 inches of rain, which I suspect washed away any evidence. I did look for what was snapped off and thrown, and I did look for any signs of anything in the trees, but finding anything seemed to be impossible within the short period of time I had. We also collected some strange frequencies which were intermittently present in the forest. They were very faint, so I enhanced them. Sorry if this video is a little late, but sifting through the information is very time consuming. It took a week to collect the information, but about 5 weeks to sort through and edit. Anyway, not sure when the next video will be coming, so take care until next time.